One of our three deceivers once worked in a haunted nursery. You can tell us who you think it is by voting along in the chat. Now let's find out who's telling the truth and who is a chump. Welcome to Chump, everybody, the Rooster Teeth game show all about lying and deception. I'm your host, Jeremy Dooley, and this episode is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect your online privacy today by heading to expressvpn.com/RTTV. Now, as a lot of you know, this is the final episode of Chump, so we wanted to celebrate that in a very special way by bringing back all of the deceivers from the very first episode of Chump. So welcome back, deceiver number one, Gustavo Cirola. Welcome back.
I'm the champion.
Bookending the show. Also, we have Sam Mitchell is back again with some crazy stories, I'm sure. This is always the case. Maybe. And finally, deceiver number three, Mr. John Reisinger joins us on the deceiving side with kittens. Oh, with littles. Those are going to be so distracting all show. No! All right, cut away. Only two people can determine whether they're telling the truth or telling a lie. One being you, the audience, and the other being today's contestant. Hannah McCarthy joins once again. Hello, Hannah.
Yay! One last chance to be a chump. I'm ready.
That's really what it is. One final opportunity. All right, go to the shot of everybody. We can do it now. We can do it. But yeah, so we're here, the final episode. Thank you guys so much for joining for this one. It's gonna be a great time. Happy to have you all back. We're all representative of the show to us.
Yeah. I'm happy to be back. Happy to be doing this again.
Yeah.
Let's lie to each other.
Let's do it for fun.
That's what you always say on this show, right? That's what they always say.
Yep. And every time I'm on, I say, please don't lie. Please don't lie to me.
Okay. I promise
Hannah,
to tell Hannah the truth.
Yeah. I would never lie.
This is where I go astray every time. I'm like, we're friends. You wouldn't lie to me. And the answer is always that it's the literal point of the show.
You always have this look of like the audacity of someone to lie to you. Like whenever you find out they did.
Why would you do this?
Yeah.
To me?
Well, you get that same way in like when you're playing Among Us, you can get like all like wrapped up. It's like this. You're literally supposed to do that. It's literally the point of the game is lie.
And yet the betrayal cuts so deep.
And it still hurts.
Somehow.
It still hurts every time. All right, guys, we're going to kick things off with our first game for the episode, which is Just the Facts. All right, in this game, we have one true fact about one of our three deceivers. I will present that fact to Hannah and the audience. But all three deceivers are going to be acting like this fact is about them. So only one's telling the truth. The other two are lying. Hannah will get to question each of them up to my discretion. I'll tell her when to move on to the next person to try to figure out who this fact is truly about. And the fact in question is one of our three deceivers once worked in a haunted nursery. So it's the fact we said at the beginning of the show. One of our three receivers once worked in a
just laughing at Hannah's reaction.
The literal expression I made when Jeremy started the show with that and we were on camera, I was like, of course, this is how we're going out. This is how we're going out. Haunted daycare.
Of course someone has. And reminder, audience, you're voting along as well as the questions are being asked. You can change your vote at any point if someone manages to convince you that it is them. As for you, Hannah, you can start your questioning with whoever you want. So who do you want to start with?
I would like to start with John because he laughed at my face.
Got it. All right, worked in a haunted nursery. So, John, you are kicking off the questioning. I'll tell you. I'll tell you when to move on to the next person, Hannah. So whenever you're ready, begin your questioning.
Okay. John, what kind of nursery was it? Like a nursery for plants,
the kind that
for children. Okay.
Yeah, it was a human nursery, as you always call them.
Okay, how old were the children that you were working with?
There was like a range of, I almost said a range of levels. It's not how we describe children. A range of ages.
Okay.
But young, like elementary school and younger, like preschool.
Okay. And how old were you when you worked at this nursery?
It was probably college years, so early 20s.
Okay. And why? Tell me about the haunted nature of this nursery. Why was it? Well, in what way did you know it was haunted?
So it was technically at my church when I was the good little church boy, and
technically,
yeah, it was a nursery at a church. You know, churches have nurseries. And I, while also volunteering for the nursery plenty of times, I also had a friend who worked maintenance. So I would hang out with him some nights, just to pass the time. And you know, you have nothing to do, okay? And
no,
you
I'm like, how am I supposed to listen to a thing you're saying when they're adorable kid? You did this strategically.
The whole point. And so we'd be there at night, and motion sensitive toys, if not button pushing toys, would go off constantly in the nursery when no one was there, and things like things that don't move on their own would move across the floor on their own in the church nursery.
Okay. Church nursery. Got it. Beyond that, so you had personal experience with the haunted toys?
Yeah. Like, as in, like, did I hear about it, or did I actually experience?
Like, did you just hear tell of these haunted toys, or
this is first-hand spookage, okay?
First-hand spookage. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's where I'm going to end that questioning at first-hand spookage. That's all the question we need for John there.
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember anything that man said. There were just so many cats being adorable. I can't. Okay.
Come by the Hannah. Come get Hannah.
Well,
get her.
Oh my
God! This was done specifically to target me.
Go to someone else.
I would like to go to Sam, please.
Cool.
All right, going to Sam next. Worked in a haunted nursery. Whenever you're ready, begin your questioning for Sam.
What do you got?
Sam. So when did you work at this haunted nursery?
I can't remember the year, but it was like 19, so I could do the math really quick. But yeah, it's like 2007-ish around there. Yeah.
Age, that's good.
Yeah.
And what type of nursery was it? Was it a church nursery?
Which is I've never heard of a chursery before, but no, it was a plant nursery. Like, yeah, that's the only kind of nursery. Like, what? I don't know anything about babies, but I'm pretty sure that's the only nursery that I knew of.
Okay.
That's why I just said nursery when I did the question, but yeah.
So, okay. So how were the plants haunted? What was haunted about this nursery?
No, I mean, the fact that it was a nursery is rather like, because, it's in Denton, which is, like North Texas. It's a big college town, but it was like built around, the whole town is stupid. It has lots of ghost stories because there's like, the original square is built with like, in one of the parts of it is like a Freemasons Masonic lodge thing. And they have underground tunnels, which were just built because they used to build squares like to be able to defend against attacks, and like, but everybody attributed to all this bullshit. And one of them that collapsed and like had news stories and stuff back in like in 1912 was in a building that then became a nursery, which I just happened to work at like right when I was starting college.
Okay,
but
and did
like, it also I mean, I don't believe in ghosts. No, it was not haunted. I don't think anything's actually haunted, but
so you
local
were
legend
told
haunted.
It was haunted.
Yeah, and it was super annoying because, and like, this is gonna go. I'll get canceled for 5 seconds here, but the town, big college, also this is just, it just plays into it, right? There's a TWU, a Texas Women's University. When you have a lot of, and this is just like, when you have this like uproar of like, let's like empowering women, it is great. It is the best thing ever. And for some reason, 2% always witches. I don't know why they choose witch, but that's the way to go. And you have so many witches coming into your nursery being like, I'm a witch. Are there ghosts here? And it's like, I'm just trying to lift plants into old people's cars. Like, no, there's not ghosts. And it was really annoying. And that's the whole thing. Too many witches. I don't know why, but that college.
Just watch Hannah. Just watch Hannah for the show.
Yeah, you're a nursing college, and all of a sudden it's like science, greatness. Let's teach people how to be better. And then why are you a witch? What happened? This isn't real. There's not magic. And then we just had a lot of witches coming through asking about haunted stuff.
So many twists and
I just wanted
turns
to carry
to that.
We're going to end the questioning there, not because I think Hannah's had enough questions, but because we need to stop Sam. I think that's what needs to happen.
We need to cancel him for 5 seconds.
It was such a big thing in our in the entire town. They would get in the square and they would have like little.
Too many witches sounds like my favorite party.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Too many witches.
Honestly, it only bothered me because they would just it was like once a week you would have somebody claiming to be a witch trying to be like do ghost stuff in a store where you're trying to work, and it was so aggravating.
There's your questioning for Sam. That's question number 2.
Okay. Okay.
That leaves deceiver number 3, Gus, who worked in a haunted nursery. Hannah, I'll tell you when you've had enough questions for Gus. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay, Gus, what kind of nursery was the haunted nursery?
It was a plant nursery. I've never heard a nursery with babies called a nursery. I thought it was just daycare.
Wait till I called it daycare. Anyway, so it was a plant nursery. When did you work at this plant nursery?
When I was in high school. It would have been the mid-90s, so a long time ago.
Okay. Where was it? Where was this nursery?
It was, I grew up in a real small town out in the border, and
I'm familiar.
It was in that town. Oh yeah, that's right. You are familiar with it. So it's like between my house and the junior high, there's railroad tracks, and it was by the railroad tracks close to the junior high.
Okay. I have so many other side questions about that from knowing Eagle Pass now.
It's like if you go down Bibb to Royal Ridge, and then over.
You're not going to get me off of not getting questions. Okay, so how did you know it was haunted?
It was like urban legend that there had been an accident nearby, and as a result, like all the spirits who had passed or who had been traumatized in that accident were still in the area. So that's why they were supposedly. I didn't believe it. I don't believe in ghosts, but supposedly they were still in that area, and that's why the nursery was considered to be haunted.
Okay, and so when you worked there, did you ever have any experience with the haunting in question? You said you don't believe in like that stuff.
No, I mean, it wasn't ever anything like crazy, right? It wasn't like Ghostbusters. You didn't see like things floating or anything. Sometimes some of the employees said like, things weren't where they left it, or plants got moved around and weren't in the right place. I think someone was just fucking with us, honestly. I think that if I had to take a guess now as an adult, knowing what I know now, I think it was either the owners playing it up to try to get people to keep talking about it, or it was just another employee who was fucking with everyone else who was working there.
Okay. There's no witches involved in your nursery?
There are no witches at all involved.
Okay. All right. So plant nursery in the town you grew up in. Railroad, you said the railroad was where people were getting killed and wandering to the nursery?
Yeah, supposedly like a car full of people had been hit on the railroad crossing nearby, and that's like the story. I never verified if there actually was an accident or anything, but it's just like this pre-internet, so it's like one of those urban legend things that gets passed down word of mouth.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
All right, let's wrap up our questioning then for Gus. And so, Hannah, that is all of your questioning for the first game. So, audience, this is your last chance to change your answers. If anyone managed to convince you that it's them, get those answers in right now. Who once worked at a haunted nursery? So, Hannah, before we get your final answer here, how are you feeling after hearing these stories?
The Knives Out meme of like the Daniel Craig saying like it baffles me but compels me or whatever it is he says. That's me to Stan's story. I am very much. The thing is, this is one of the few times where I feel like I actually have a little bit of information to go on, because I think I was in one of the tests for CHUMP with Sam, where there was an unrelated story, but a lot of the details relate to this. And I know a good amount about Gus from Common Ground, our documentary, the Rooster Teeth documentary, if you haven't watched it. Real throwback there. So I'm leaning towards Sam, even though there's so many layers of confusion to that story. I'm leaning towards Sam.
I like how you said an unrelated thing, but it's just quite something Sam might have gone off on.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we did something with haunting specifically because also the college was the same way. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it is.
So
wow, you remember that
against me?
Like, just Google like Benton, Texas haunting, and like it's every goddamn building in this town. It's
so
all
either
over
he's
the place.
really sticking to the narrative of the town I was in was haunted in every possible way, but it does track with something he said in the past. So that was a very elaborate
Before we
story.
lock in your answer, we're gonna lock in the audience. Audience, you're locked in for game number 1. Thank you very much for playing. I'm gonna start tabulating those votes right now. So Hannah, now we need a lock-in from you. So who worked in a haunted nursery?
I'm gonna say Sam. For the witches alone, I just want that story to be true.
Just another good movie
I
title for
want
the
that
witches alone.
so badly to be true.
We have too many witches for the witches alone.
Too many
Canceled
witches.
for 5 seconds.
Too Many Witches is a new serial, and then For the Witches Alone is the movie accompaniment.
Oh man. Well,
just a bunch of little broom pieces and stuff. That sounds like a good serial.
Yeah. Oops, all witches.
Oops, all witches.
Well, before we can reveal who the story is really about, we need to take a look at the audience votes. So let's see. They told me I might have to vamp a little extra today while they tabulate the answers. They have to do like an archaic version of it in order to get them all in.
They've got an abacus
but let's see.
that they're
exactly.
through. Yeah.
Christian's going, ooh, I think that's enough. Let's see how the audience voted.
Consulting
in
the witches.
Game number 1. They agree. All right, the audience has gone for Sam, 54%.
We're in this
32
together,
for
audience.
John. Only 14 for Gus. Gus and Ghost, they don't mix. Yeah. All right.
Get to me.
So both Hannah and the audience have gone for Sam, and I can reveal that the person who worked in a haunted nursery was Mr. John Reisinger was the one who did it. John, a nursery for children, a church nursery.
The shock on Hannah's face.
I did not expect that. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I thought you were the only one who said humans, which I was like, that probably means it's true. Dang.
This is a
Wow.
nursery for humans.
That's
a term you use. That's a term you use to describe a place where you hold little things, little children.
That's news to me. Like I thought about the story and I was like, what is a nursery? Oh, like a plant place. Like, yeah, I've seen a plant nursery before. And so I just assumed
when
it was
you,
about plants, not
That's
people.
why I asked.
when you were going to church and you got little babies, you can't take little babies into the church, so you go and you check them into the nursery, and the people take care of the kids in the nursery, and then you go to your church and you come back and you pick up your chillins.
It checks out.
Fair enough.
It does. I'm just, chumping it up. That's where I'm at.
Just chumping it up.
I'm just sad that the witches were. There's no element of truth to the witches.
All witches.
Sam.
There's plenty of witches in that town, and I don't actually have beef with them. I just felt like
I'm going on a limb and say there's no witches in that town.
Little
I'd say there's not enough witches.
Man. Okay, well,
no, there were enough witches there. Let me tell you the truth. There were enough witches. Like, if you like trying to date as a teenager in that town, like it's just like I can't imagine Tinder there. It's just like Wiccan. Like, just probably
There's
don't
a witch
don't
limit
swipe left
in that
unless
town
you're a
hidden.
warlock.
Yeah.
Like,
They probably don't
Gosh.
like Tinder because of the fire connotation.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that or they love it because of that. Either way.
It's hard to tell with
my
witches.
gosh.
That means after game number 1, the deceivers get 2 points for fooling both Hannah and the audience. So the score
Dang.
0-0 to 2.
Audience, we're in a bad way, guys.
It's all right.
We gotta figure this out.
You've been here before. You can get out of it. Especially,
I'm very familiar with this position I'm in.
This episode of Chump is brought to you by Honey. Online shopping is pretty much the only way that some of us have made it through the last year and a half. And now that we've experienced the joy of shopping at home, there's really no going back, especially if you've got Honey, the free shopping tool that hunts down discount codes and applies them right to your cart. And if you're like me and you've gotten to that checkout page and you see the little box that says promo code, sometimes you go online, you go looking around for a code, you put it in, it says it doesn't work, even though the site guaranteed to you that it will work. and it's just a whole hassle and a whole mess, and eventually you just don't use a code. Honey makes that whole process streamlined, and it will find codes that actually work without you having to do anything more than click a button. It's super easy to use. When you check out online, the Honey button drops down, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. If Honey finds any working coupons, it will automatically apply it to your cart. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs in just a few seconds. And by getting it, you're doing yourself a solid and supporting Rooster Teeth and the shows that they make. I'd never recommend something that I don't use. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/chump. That's joinhoney.com/chump. Go save yourself some money with Honey. All three teams at this point now have a chance to earn 2 points as we go into our next game, which is pushing the envelope. Do it. There it is. Anyways, gonna wait for that little title to pop up. In this game, I've got 3 envelopes. Each contains a true fact about one of our deceivers. I'm gonna shuffle them up and redistribute them. So they might get their own fact. They might get someone else's. It's up to Hannah to decide if they have their own fact or if they're lying about having someone else's fact. She will question each of them for 60 seconds about the fact that they receive. If it's theirs, they tell the truth. If it's not, they lie and try to get Hannah to think that that fact is about them. Audience, you work a little differently. We'll get into it after I hand out the facts. Starting with Gus, the true story about Gustavo Cirola is he lost his virginity at Disneyland. Lost his virginity at Disneyland. The true story about Sam is Sam. They're all going to blow you away a little bit here.
Sam is Sam. That's just the true story about Sam.
The true story about Sam is Sam saw a kid ruin their life with honesty. Ruin their life with honesty. And the true story about John is John Reisinger once saw a grave with his own name on it. Those are the 3 stories there. Audience, you're going to be voting on one of these stories in particular to try to guess whose story it really is. And that is who saw a kid ruin their life with honesty. So Sam is claiming this story is about him. After hearing all the questioning, you can decide if you believe that story is about Sam or if you think it's about Gus or if you think it's about John. You can cast your votes. And if you get it right, it's 2 points because it's a bit harder to do. All right. So Hannah, you have 60 seconds to each person. Who do you want to start with?
I want to start with Gus because that's just the fact that that's anyone in
details?
This. Yeah, I want to get into sordid details. The fact that someone here that is the truth. I got questions.
That's right. Yeah, it is true about someone. All right. Yep. 60 seconds on the clock. Ready, get set, go.
I already forgot. Was it Disneyland or Disney World?
Disneyland.
Okay, Disneyland. Okay. Where in the park?
It was actually in the parking lot, which sounds terrible.
In the parking lot?
Yeah, in a vehicle that we had taken to get to Disneyland.
Okay, how old were you?
I was in college. I was 18.
You were 18?
I was 18. I was in college.
Okay. I regret asking. Okay, wait. What kind of car was it?
It was a bus. It was like a big group that we had taken to Disneyland.
A bus? A bus?
Yeah, like a small bus / big van, because it was like a group of people that had gone to Disneyland.
Okay. You still have a couple more seconds. The music was off.
Were you alone? Wait, were you alone? What does that mean?
Yeah, we were alone. Everyone else was still in the park. We had just snuck back out to go to the vehicle.
All right, there. Okay. That is your 60 seconds. Yeah, I heard the clock go, like the music go, and I was like, wait a second, that one didn't feel like 60 seconds.
I was like, there's still time. Not that I had coherent questions to ask. Oh God.
All right, that was your 60 seconds for Gus.
Wow.
Who would you like to go to next?
Sam. We're going that Sam. Way because my brain is fried now.
Saw a kid ruin his life with honesty. So audience, pay extra close attention to this one. Okay. You're voting on this one. All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Ready, get set, Go.
Okay. Sam, how did this person ruin their life? In what way?
How?
Yes.
I mean, okay. So do you just want like the quick story? The kid.
The quick story. We got 50 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a kid. We met him. We're like 18, 19. That's what I mean by kid. Like early college, still idiot. So
Too many
this
details.
guy we're hanging
How do
out
you
with.
ruin it?
He got pulled over by the police for a very mundane reason, and then they walked to the door, and he was like, "I have drugs on me." And then he went to his job, told them he did that, and they fired him.
What? Were you with him when he did this?
No. Well, I mean, we were caravanning. I was in another car, but my friends were in the car with him when he did it. And it was like, they were just like, I don't know where it came from. Like, he got pulled over and he was like, I have weed on me, and just like freaked out.
And did he have weed on him?
Yeah, like a tiny little bit. And then the cop was like, dude, what? Like, the cop didn't care. And then neither did his boss. His boss was just like, why did you tell me? We have to fire you now. And then so the kid went from like having a good job as a welder to just being like, he got a paraphernalia ticket, he got fired, and none of it had to happen. He just like was just like too honest. He was the nicest kid. It's like heart of gold, fucking idiot though. But yeah,
Wow.
fucked up his whole life by
Pull
being
the
honest.
shot. Stop him.
He'll just keep going if we don't stop him.
Too many
Oh my
details.
God,
Let me get
John.
away. All right.
Oh, God.
John's got him in the lap now.
I know. This
She
is
wanted to be in the
What I
lap.
have
She
is
wanted to
there.
be in the lap.
This is a strategic play
Look
on
at that.
John's
Oh,
part.
I see. Jeremy's got cat.
I got the
cat
big,
cam as well.
the big one way over there. Yeah.
Friend.
The one that's like the
Just
size of
watch
5
him.
of my kittens.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's big.
Okay.
All right. That leaves John for the 60-second questioning, who saw his own name on a grave. You have 60 seconds to question John. Ready, get set, go.
Okay, John, where was this grave that you saw your name on?
In a graveyard.
Well, where? Like in
technically, okay, Los Angeles, actually.
In Los Angeles. Okay.
Los Angeles.
Why were you at a graveyard in Los Angeles?
So we went to LA one time back in the day when we were doing On the Spot, and we had a chance to do On the Spot out in LA. It was actually for Bernie and Ashley's like Amazing Race. Yeah, the kid.
Sorry.
Amazing Race. We had some time to kill between rehearsal and the actual show, and we were close to like a famous Los Angeles graveyard. So I just went and wandered around and looked at the graveyard, just looking at all the cool sites, and I found one that literally said John Reisinger, spelled exactly my name way it's done.
That was going to be my question too. Was it spelled the same? When did they die?
It
Do you
was.
remember?
That's what's jarring, is that I have weird spelling of my first name. Not a lot of people go Jon, and then Reisinger is not a super common last name, so that was very jarring for me to see both of those combined on a grave.
I just.
All right. There you
Shouldn't
go.
start
That
with
is
Gus.
all of your questioning.
That was
Should've started
adorable.
with
Seeing the
Gus.
cat jump off your lap, by the way.
The cat leapt. What you doing?
What you doing? What you doing? You distracting people?
Now, before we lock in these answers, little one, hi, little one. Audience, last chance to change around any votes you had. Remember, you're voting on who saw a kid ruin their life with honesty. So make sure to get those votes in now. Hannah, before we lock in anything, how are you feeling after hearing those answers and those stories? What do you think?
Not good,
Yeah,
Jeremy.
that about
Not-
sums
not
it up.
good.
Yeah.
I don't feel confident in the slightest at all. I shouldn't have started with Gus. I immediately threw myself off. So I have so many more questions than answers to go off of here.
Yeah, and it's
But I
important to
have
remember when
all.
answering these, they're all true. They're all true stories
Heck
about
yeah.
someone, right? So that will help you whittle some stuff down, or if you think they're all telling the truth, which is a possibility and has happened. But audience, we're now locking in your answer. Thank you very much for playing in game number 2. Best of luck to you. 2 points on the line for you. Hannah, we're going to go down the line. Starting with Gus, then to Sam, then to John. And we just need from you if you think that they're telling the truth or telling a lie. So we're going to start things off with Gus, who lost his virginity at Disneyland.
Truly the
in
magic
the parking
kingdom.
lot.
Don't say that. Oh,
Hannah,
God.
is Gus
Okay.
telling the truth or telling a lie?
I'm going to say this is how I play this game. I play it not with what I think is right, but what I need to survive. So I'm going to say he's
Got it.
lying because then I won't know the truth about that. So lying.
Do you want to lock that in?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's lock in Gus as telling a lie. The fact is,
Oh.
Hannah, you're going to know this truth about someone.
That's
By
God,
the
you're
end-
right.
by the end
I
of the
didn't think
post
about
show,
that.
you know,
I didn't think about it.
All
Okay.
right, on to Sam, who saw a kid ruin his life with honesty. Is Sam telling the truth or telling a lie?
I don't trust anything Sam says anymore. He got me with the witches, so
Lies.
I'm
That's
just
the
gonna
negative
say,
effect
wait.
of this show. I feel like
Yeah, that's
like now every business meeting we have is like you're just gonna be like,
It's like,
Sam's
is that
untrustworthy.
true?
That motherfucker lies. Like
Well, it's just you're so elaborate in your truth. I'm gonna say. So can I? You're lying too. I'm saying he's lying also.
All right, lock that in.
I'm locking it in.
All right,
I'm
let's
just gonna
lock
say you're all
in
lying.
Sam as also lying.
That's
So
that's,
that
there's
leaves
so much calm
John.
in that expression.
So much calm. Right. What's happening behind those eyes? We never know. That leaves John Reisinger, who saw his own name on a grave. So mathematically, he could be telling the truth. He could be telling a lie. Either way. And, you know, Gus and Sam have their story switched. They're all lying. It is now up for you to decide. Is John
You
telling the
know,
truth or telling a lie?
I don't think it's really go big or go home, but I'm going to be consistent and just say lie across the board for the final
You want to
jumper of this game.
final jumper of this game? Lock
That's
that
me.
in.
Locking it in. Everybody lied to
All
me.
right, locking it in. Everyone lied to Hannah. That is what she's going with. Now, before we can
God.
find out if that really is the case, the little ones back there, we need to find out how the
sat up on
audience
your
voted.
legs and licked your stomach with your tongue. You ever just done that?
all the time.
Just
One
sit
of those
back
days.
and just.
Oh God.
You know, just one of those days. Audience, let's see how you voted. Who actually watched a kid ruin his life with honesty? Was it Sam, or was it Gus, or was it John? Who do you think this story is about? And they tabulate the numbers.
Ooh.
They think it's Gus. 49% believe that it is Gus. Gus seems like someone who would just watch somebody ruin their life. That's what the audience must be
It would
saying.
it would be really funny.
I feel like it's like
31%
fun fact
believe
that
Sam.
that kid was Chris Damaris. Like it's gonna be something like that.
All right. Well, now that we have all of those in, it's time to go down the line and see how Hannah did. Starting with Gus. So Gus claims to have lost his virginity at Disneyland. You thought he was telling a lie. I can reveal Gus is telling a lie. Yes, you were right about that. Correct?
Okay.
Gus
Yep.
was telling a lie. All right, you're 1 for 1
That was
so
a very
far.
good story though, Gus. That was very good. Really
Thank
got
you.
me.
Thank you.
Threw
really
us
got
all
me
for a
there.
loop. On
had
to
tons of
Sam.
details ready.
Who, yeah. Gus before this was like, I'm so ready.
I was ready.
I'm so ready.
Oh God. Okay.
On to Sam, who saw a kid ruin his life with honesty. You thought Sam was telling a lie. Can reveal Sam was telling the truth. That was a true story from
I'm honest
Sam.
now.
He's an honest guy. He's got to
Wow.
change his
I'm an
heart.
honest man, Anna. Come on.
It's the witches. It's the witches.
It's the witches.
Man.
The witches got to you. Which means,
Dang.
so on to John Reisinger, who saw his own name on a gravestone. You thought John was telling a lie. Can reveal John was indeed telling a lie. Yes. So
Okay.
John and Gus were switched. Sam was telling the truth. Now, what that means, Hannah, because that means the audience got it wrong. The audience thought it was Gus, but it was actually about Sam. So the audience did not get any points this round, but you, because you got 2 right, get a point, which means the current scores of the audience with 0, Hannah with 1, Deceivers with 2. As we go into our final game. This episode of Chump is sponsored by Amazon Music. Sometimes you feel like streaming a podcast, or sometimes you're in more of a musical mood. Amazon Music gives you the best of both worlds for free, with over 10 million podcast episodes and thousands of music stations and top playlists. Plus, you can go hands-free with everyone's favorite Amazon assistant. Amazon Music is a great service. You can find my music on there. My band puts the music on there. Podcasts are all available on there. There's so many different options. Anything that you want to listen to is available on Amazon Music. So why not use that as your source for podcasts and music? Get the app and enjoy free listening anywhere on all your favorite devices. Yes, including Alexa. And I'm sorry if I just turned yours on by saying that. If you've never tried Amazon Music, what are you waiting for? You're going to love it as much as I do. Start listening for free today. Head over to amazon.com/chump. That's amazon.com/chump to stream thousands of music stations and over 10 million podcast episodes for free. Amazon.com/chump. And now back to the episode. Hannah, this could be it. You could not be the chump.
Oh, God.
The redemption tour ends with our final game, which is what's in your house. All right, as we round the corner to the final game, here is how it works. All three of our deceivers are going to describe a bizarre item they have in their house. However, only one of them is describing an item that actually exists. The other two are making up an item that they do not have in their house. Hannah will get to question each of them up to my discretion. I'll tell her when to move on to the next person about these items, where they came from, what they look like, what they mean to them, different things like that, to try to determine who has the real item. Audience, you are also voting on who has the actual object in their house. So first, we need a short description from each deceiver on their item. And we'll start with Gus. Gus, what is in your house?
It's like a physical description. It's like a white base with two white pillars sticking up from it with like circular black tops on the top.
What is it? What is the object?
What is the
like
object?
that. He answered. He answered.
No. You know what? Let's leave it at that. A white base with two things and two things on top. I love it. All right. That's what we're going to start with.
Okay. It's fine.
Well, we'll have to ask the questions to find out.
Yeah.
Sam, what is in your house?
Extremely, and I mean hundreds of years old spaghetti.
Hundreds of year old spaghetti.
Yes.
On to John. John, what is in your house?
A candy dish of body parts.
A candy dish of body parts. So there we go. Those are your three items. Audience, remember you're voting on who has the real item. Hannah, who do you want to start your questioning? Who do you want to start questioning first?
Let's start with Gus, because I didn't catch the end of what it was. Or really what it was in general. Don't really know what it is in general. So
it's a shoe sanitizer.
A shoe sanitizer.
I don't
All right.
know what that is.
So Hannah, starting with Gus, whenever you're ready, begin your questioning.
Okay. Gus, so the shoe sanitizer, how does it sanitize a shoe?
UV light.
Okay, so the thing on the top is where you put the shoe in between the two pillars you described?
It's got like the two posts, and you like put the inside of the shoe, like it cleans the inside of the shoe. So it's like you hang the inside of the shoe on it. Here, I've got like my slipper. I can show you. Like you would put your slipper on it, and then it would clean the inside.
The inside. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know why I thought it would be the outside, but yes. Okay.
No.
Where did you get this shoe sanitizer from?
I think my mom gave it to me. I'm pretty sure she gave it to me.
Okay.
I don't know what she's trying to tell me by that.
Is it what's its intent? Is it just to clean, to de-stinkify? Does it do both?
Exactly, de-stinkify. I'm sure like it probably cleans too, but I think the primary purpose is to de-stinkify.
I'm sure that's the technical term, how they market it.
Written on the box.
Or whatever fancy thing that they say.
Yeah, that's probably it. Deodorizing. Okay,
Yeah.
and then so you said it has about how big is it? You said you put your shoe in it, so it's generally
It's bigger than my shoe. I don't know. It's like foot and a half, 18 to 24 inches tall, somewhere in that
And
range.
where do you keep it in your house?
Right now it normally lives in the closet of the room I'm in, which is like right over here. I don't use it that often right now.
Okay.
All right, Hannah, that's your questioning for Gus on the shoe destinkifier.
Very practical.
4,000.
So yeah,
It really came together from the first thing. Yeah.
Yeah, really. I was thinking it was like some kind of display statue thing. It's completely not that at all. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So who would you like to move on to next?
I would like to go to John next, please.
Going to John with a candy dish full of body parts.
Yes.
Whenever you're ready, begin your questioning for John.
Okay. John, what does this candy dish look like?
It's handmade by me from college. It's just a simple candy dish painted.
Okay.
It's not made of the body parts. It's filled with body parts.
So does it have an enclosure? Is it
No,
just
it's like
a tray?
it's like one that you would like toss your keys on when you come in the house, that kind of a thing.
Gotcha. Got it. A dish. And what kinds of body parts are in it?
I genuinely forgot you were the contestant, or else I might have not said this one. But it's so the kittens like lose like teeth and claws, and I never knew what to do with them when I found them. So I just started throwing them in a dish. And so now the dish has like a few teeth and claws from my kittens.
That's
and I don't want
what I expected. I thought it was gonna be like plastic Barbie feet or something.
That's the other dish that's in my kids' room that's got all of their decapitated toys.
Okay. So you're saying just like little claws that come off, some teeth. How many would you say that you have in that dish?
Of total pieces, like about 8 now.
Oh, okay. That's like a reasonable number. That's a very.
It's got a few other things in it. You know, it's like a junk. It's a reason, but to Hannah, that's a reasonable amount.
That to me is a very reasonable amount, actually. So you said there's other things on there other than the
like change and like loose change and like some thumb drives I don't use anymore. It's sitting in my kitchen, but not like in like the preparation space, like on the far side of the kitchen.
A hazard potentially. Okay.
With like a bunch of other it's like next to like a bunch of junk drawer kind of stuff.
Oh man.
All right, Hannah, that's her questioning for John there. The candy dish full of body parts. And that's and that leaves Sam with the hundreds of year-old spaghetti. So the ancient spaghetti from Sam. Whenever you're ready, begin questioning him about that.
Sam, did you get the spaghetti from a witch?
No, I didn't. I mean, she might have been at some point in her life.
No, don't me. You said no. Okay, so
she wasn't a witch.
Where's the spaghetti from?
Italy.
Italy? Did you say?
Yeah. Yes, Italy.
It's a country.
I know, but like
they're actually quite famous for their spaghetti. I don't know why that went through your head. How's it stored?
Yeah. So wait,
in a glass
is this
container.
Like aged spaghetti, or is this like it's been made and it's preserved?
It's dehydrated pasta, but wicked old. And it's in like a glass, like a rounded square cylinder kind of thing, and bowed a little at the bottom.
Weird now as you're saying this.
Yeah. It comes from, we used to do, instead of white elephants, we did weird elephants, and I got it from that. It's just,
So someone gave it to you?
Yeah. Old. I think it has a date on it. It's like 17 something. It's like 1793. So it's quite old.
The date is 1793?
Mm-hmm. That's on the glass bottle, but like it's clearly they would reuse the bottle. So yeah, it's really old.
Is it verified? Is it just in a jar with a date on it? Does it's sealed?
I mean,
does it have?
I will say. I haven't taken to like a carbon chronological
carbon dater.
Fucking like actually, but like the glass definitely the.
Is it just a mason jar with spaghetti in it?
No, it's not. It's like the bottle. The glass bottle definitely looks age appropriate. And like, I don't know how to tell, but like dehydrated spaghetti sure does still look pretty fucking old.
So when you say dehydrated, you just mean uncooked spaghetti,
like
or is there
pasta.
something actually?
It's like dried pasta, like you'd buy at the store, except for like, I mean, it's all like kind of pockmarked and wicked old. But
Jeremy, I can't do this anymore. I
Okay,
don't know
got
what's
it.
up and what's
Understood.
down.
Understood.
I don't
That's
know
the
what's
towel
up and
throw
what's
in right
down
there.
anymore. I don't even know.
All right.
You broke her.
Well,
I don't.
it's that was. I mean, that was all the that was the final questioning for the series. And you've heard about these 3 different items. Only one of them really is theirs and in their house. Audience, you are casting your final votes here. Best of luck to you. You need to get this one right, audience. So before we get a final answer, Hannah, how are you feeling about these 3 objects? Is there any plot holes you think you found or anything like that?
No. frankly, I could see them all having each of these. So it's throwing me is I expected Sam to say it was just like a jar of spaghetti that was made 100 years ago and it's just been sitting in a pantry somewhere looking awful. But it's like uncooked,
that's weird,
which is not as weird.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's not as weird. And I could see Gus taking care of his shoes. That's believable, you know? And John has cats all the time. The only thing I'm not sure about John's is I don't think John has had a lot of older kittens and they don't tend to lose their teeth that early. That's my only.
Look at the sleuth coming out.
The kitten.
All right.
Kitten, which maybe that's why John said I shouldn't have said it to you, Hannah. I don't know,
You're trying to get into these mind games that you think they might be playing.
Reality is I'm playing myself. I'm like really just playing myself here. There's no other way about it.
Well,
okay.
Before we get your final answer, your last answer for the show, we need to get the audience votes here. So, oh no, wait, we don't want to see that yet. Audience, you're locked in. You're done. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're done for the show. Yay. That's right. I did that out of order. All right. Hannah, we need to get your final locked in answer. So you've heard the items. Who has the real item?
Guys, I don't. This is.
It's all on this.
Oh, this is what makes me the final chump, isn't it? All right.
It's in your hands.
You know,
It's in your hands.
I feel like if John had a dish, he wouldn't have said body parts, but maybe he would have. Guys, I'm really losing it here. Okay, we're gonna go with spaghetti.
Going with Sam and the ancient spaghetti.
I can't imagine John holding up a dish with teeth in it.
I need a reaction gif of just Hannah's frame just saying spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I'm so lost.
Do you want to lock in Sam and the spaghetti?
Sam, you lied to me once. You told me the truth once.
Yeah. Let's make it tell the truth twice then.
We're going to end Trump staking it all on spaghetti. Spaghetti it is. Lock it in.
All right, let's lock in Sam and the spaghetti.
Sounds like a bad
I better
Sam
see
and
it.
spaghetti.
It's not going to be spaghetti. I know it. I already regret my choice.
All right, but before we can reveal who has the actual item, we have to see how the audience voted. So, audience, let's see what were your final votes for the episode, for the series. Who do you think has the real item?
Oh God, I'm
John
wrong.
with the dish full of body parts. All right, 48%.
I bet it's the baby teeth.
48% think that it's John. 32% think it's the foot or the shoe desinkifier, and 20% think it is the spaghetti. So
If
here's
Gus
what
has
we
that,
did.
we
It was
gotta-
Like, they never believe me ever, so it really does
No,
not matter.
audience
Like,
refuses to believe Sam.
yeah.
Well, we're going out on me
So-
believing you, Sam. So now you're going to prove me wrong, and we're going to know
I
forever that we
appreciate it.
shouldn't trust you. So
Well, Hannah, here is the thing. With the scores the way they are, because right now it's 0 for the audience, 1 for you, and 2 for the deceivers. If you get this one right, Or if the answer is not John, you are still not the chump. The audience is. So you could slide out of here.
Though.
But if the audience gets it right with John, there's going to be some joint chumps here.
He's going to pull out a dish full of baby cat teeth, and I'm going to go down in history as a chump.
Rather than me reveal who has the item, I'm going to count down from 3 and then say reveal, and the person who has it will hold it up. So let's see the real item in 3, 2, 1, reveal.
Son of a gun!
Think of fire! There it is!
Okay, I mean,
there it is.
Fair. That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's the thing here. Like that means the deceivers managed to fool both the audience and the contestant. They're scoring another 2 points, bringing their total to 4. So you are the winners, but more importantly, we need to name a final chump. And Hannah, you got 1 point. The audience did not get any points, which means on the final episode of Chump, the audience is going to be tonight's chump. Oh. There it is. The final chump was the audience. But Deceiver is a very good showing. Sam, of course, no one would Hannah went right for the spaghetti.
I went straight for the spaghetti. Yeah. I really did. I wanted
the audience refused.
It sounded weird enough that when he made it sound normal, I was like, it's possible that it's like, a clickbait type lie.
It's equal parts weird and mundane. He did. So it's really.
And John, was it the baby teeth? Was it the baby teeth that made you think I shouldn't have said this?
No, just mostly talking about kittens. I thought it'd be embarrassing to talk about kittens. No, I was weaving a story there.
Okay, well, that was very good.
Just pulling the strings.
Gus, I did not expect it. I mean, I did.
It works great. I just haven't used it for a little while. I highly recommend it.
We need to contact them and tell them to change the name and the marketing around that device to be the distinguifier.
Yeah, of course.
They're adjustable.
Of course.
I never looked at the back of this. You can change it.
Yep. Of course you can.
Oh gosh.
Wow. Well, there are some stories we did not get to hear during this episode. Like now we get to hear about Gus finding his own name on a gravestone and John losing his virginity at Disneyland. Can't wait to talk about that in the post show.
Oh my God,
that would be a great time. Gotta be a first member to watch that, the final chump change. But I want to say to everyone who joined me today, to Hannah, Gus, Sam, and John, and to the audience watching, thank you so much for making Chump an incredible show. We had a great run with the show. We all had a lot of fun doing it and heard a lot of great stories. And I want to remind you guys that this is the final episode, but that doesn't mean there won't be any special editions of Chump in the future. Maybe some RTX stuff. Who knows? So I'm sure you'll see Chump popping up again in the future. But other than that, have yourselves a great day, a great week, a great month, great year, life, whatever have you. And thanks again for joining us. We'll see you later, everyone. And go watch Chump Change. Be a first member. Start the dang credit music. My gosh. I'm trying. Brian. Thank you, everyone, for watching Chump. I hope you enjoyed the series. We had a huge pleasure making it, and hope we made some good content for you guys. Make sure to tell us in the comments below who managed to fool you, and enjoy some more content on Rooster Teeth. See y'all later.